Hello. Today we're going to talk about goals. Setting ESL goals. So some people might want some passive income, active income, or maybe they just want to be happy and teach, right? So you really need to sit down and think about what are your long-term goals for ESL. I'll give you an example with me. It was about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I decided that I wanted to mentor teachers. So I created a mentoring program. I mentored about 525 teachers, and I'll get on calls with them every day. And then I decided that's not the direction I want to go, because I was getting burnt out. I was on calls all the time with ESL teachers, and at the time I was mentoring a lot of teachers on how to get up to speed quickly to teach ESL online to kids. So I enjoyed it, but that's not where I really wanted to be. I should have sat down before I started the process and determined what are my ESL long-term goals, and I didn't do that. I just jumped right in head first. Woo! and I learned a lot. I talked to a lot of teachers. I helped a lot of people, and I really enjoyed that. But it's not really where I wanted to be. So you really need to think about, what are your ESL professional goals? You just want to teach kids, or do you just want to teach? And I love teaching, but I want to reduce my teaching schedule and do some other things too. So you have to decide what your goals are. Is it just teaching, or do you want to maybe create some products? Do you want to do some referrals? So, like, if you could get teachers on board with big companies, or earn $100 to $300 per teacher that signs up for that company. You could do that. And you just really want to think about what you want to do, or maybe you want to create your own side business, maybe your own ESL material, or create your own something else. Maybe you want to make cakes, or maybe you want to do something else. So you could have a balancing act between the two. Um, so now for me, I've started creating curriculum a few years ago because I saw a need with my students, because I teach private students too, that there wasn't a really good curriculum out there for my students. So that's where I'm at now, and that's the direction I want to be in. So for the past 2.5 years, I've been creating curriculum. I've been using it to teach my own students, but I also sell it to teachers. So they have a solid curriculum, and they can give their students a solid base for for ESL. So um, that's where I'm at right now. But you have to really think about you. What direction do you want to go? Do you want an income coming in that's passive? So my curriculum, even though it's a lot of work on the back end, once I sell it, it's more passive, or do you want to be more active? So if you're doing referrals, you could create a video-based program. Plus, you could check in with them every once in a while, and that's a more of an active program. If you want to do that, or you can train teachers to get up to speed quickly to teach ESL, or teach, IELTS or anything like that. So you just have to decide, what direction you want to go when we're talking about, ESL itself, or do you just want to teach? So I love teaching. So I teach right now. I'm teaching about 35 to 40 hours a week. I used to teach 70 to 80 hours a week, so I reduced my schedule. I'm For me, my ideal schedule is teaching students about 25 hours a week. That's where I want to be, but I'm not. I'm not there yet, and I'm hoping that some of the stuff that I'm creating will at least pay for half of my salary, so that, so I can work on both, because I really like teaching, but I also love creating products for students. So for me, that's where I want to be for my goals. And what I did is, I told you in the last video, I transferred my hours over to the weekend hours, a lot of my hours, so that I do have a couple days a week and I can work on my other goals. So that's something to think about, when you're deciding what you want to do in the ESL field. Maybe you even want to do something else. Maybe you want to become a manager of an ESL company, or maybe you want to train the teachers, or maybe you want to do interview things, interview teachers. So you just have to really decide what's important to you. But I really, really want teachers to know, really sit down and think about it, write things out. I wish I would have done that. I would have saved myself in the beginning, hundreds of hours, if I would have done that. So really write down what your goals are. Do you want to just teach a little bit, or maybe you don't want to teach anymore? You want to do more professional development with teachers and referrals. Maybe you want to refer different products like Minicam, book widgets, or some other ones where you can get more passive income coming in also. All right. I hope this helps to really, get you on a path where you're going to be happy as an ESL teacher, an ESL professional, and but also you're not wasting your time, right? You're not going in a direction that you don't want to be there. So when I was mentoring teachers, I realized all the energy it took to get on calls I was on calls for 2.5 years, almost every day with teachers. And to be honest with you, I was burning out. That was draining me, not the teachers themselves, but just every day, that repetition of getting on calls and everything every day was just draining. Plus I was teaching full time. So, I had to decide at some point that, that's not the direction that I wanted to be, as an ESL professional. So it took me a while to figure that out. And then it took me a while to figure out what direction I want to go in, because I wasn't sure at the time what direction. And that's when I fell into the curriculum, helping my own private students. Now, you might want to teach, just your own private students. And, there's a lot of marketing that goes on in that, and also finding the students. So, that takes time and effort also. So you just have to decide, what direction you want to go in. Okay. I hope this helps on goals. Hopefully you don't make some of the mistakes that I made. No. But, it's a good learning experience. Even if, you're not 100% sure and you want to go a certain direction, well, go that direction. I'm sure it's going to help you down the road anyways. All right. I got to go now. Thank you very much. Bye.